Imagine yourself on a weekend camping trip. You get lost and it's starting to get dark. You are wet, cold, hungry, and defenseless. There's only one thing that could keep you warm and dry, helps you cook food, and keeps away predators. That one thing is fire. In a survival situation, creating a fire can be the difference between life and death. To teach you the important skill of making fire, we will look at different methods of starting a fire, such as the match, the flint and steel, and the bow drill. Here I have a box of waterproof matches, and they basically are covered with wax coating on the top to keep the water out of it. And even though they get wet, they will still probably work. Like, they've been soaking in this bottle for about the whole class period, and they should work. Then here I have a box of regular matches, and they do not have the wax coating like the waterproof matches, so if they get wet, they will most likely not work. And I also put a couple in here, so we have both of them in there, and they will most likely not work. It'd be funny if they did. Now that when you're lighting the match, you would want to hold it, after you strike it on the box, you'd want to hold it upside down so it starts burning the stick, so it'll last longer. And you'd want to light the tinder first, because that's what'll catch fire faster, and it'll start your fire. Now that we've talked about matches, let's take a look at the flint steel. This is flint steel. There are basically two parts to it. This is the shaving edge on the bottom, and it's magnesium, so when you scrape it off, it should start the fire easier, because when it lights, it burns about 5,400 degrees Fahrenheit, and it'll really help catch the tinder and kindling on fire. Then this is black bar across the top is the flint, or the striking insert, which when you take like any piece of metal, usually a pocket knife, but I use scissors just because, and you want to strike hard and fast to get the hottest sparks. Do it. And yeah, so you want to use the lint that I have here for tinder, like, because it catches really fast and easily, and it would work pretty well. So some tips is that when you're striking the flint and steel, you'd want to hold it at a 45-degree angle or so and strike fast, because it'll create more sparks in the hotter ones. So now that we've looked at flint and steel, let's take a look at the bow drill. There are, looks like 4 parts to the bow drill. This is the bow, and you'd want to find a stick that has a natural curve to it, so the string can hang like that. You won't have to bend it with the stick or the string. And the string can be made of mostly anything, like your shoelace, your sweatshirt strings, or like sometimes people use rawhide. I don't know how they do that, but so then what you do, this is the hearth board, which is the bottom part here, and there needs to be a notch in there, so when you're moving this, it creates friction and the embers can fall out of there. And that's the shaft, which needs to be about 12 inches long and smooth, so the string doesn't catch on it. And that's the bearing block, which broke in half, but that's what you hold in your hand and put on top of that, so it doesn't burn your hand and it just helps it spin better. And this is the nest, which is basically tinder, and you'd want to have like lint or something. So for demonstration, you want to put this on the ground, and you want to put your foot on it as close as there.
You can set it up on maybe on the stool. I mean, just,
sure.
So it's a little easier to see. Take your water and stuff off.
So yeah, put this on the bottom. Then you'd want to put this onto the bow the bow, and you twist it, just like that, so it locks in place. It's not really where it should be towards the middle. So, and you want to put that about there. You have the bang block on top. You want to move it side to side, but it's harder than it looks. So, yeah, that's how that works. And the bow drill is basically a last resort, because if you don't have matches or flint steel, which is way easier than a bow drill, you'd want to know how to make one of those. And when you make an ember, you want to transport it to the nest with like a leaf that's underneath the notch there, and you put it into the nest and start blowing on it. So when you start to see smoke, that means you're getting close, and eventually it'll catch fire. So now that we've looked at the different ways to start a fire, like the matches, the flint steel, and the bow drill, they are very useful when in emergency situations. And fire is needed in any survival situation to increase your chances of survival. And so the next time you go camping, make sure you have something like matches, flint and steel, or bow drill, or the knowledge to make a bow drill, so you can survive basically in an emergency situation. And it'd be a good idea to keep like matches or flint steel in your vehicle, so in case something does happen and you're out at night, you'd be able to start a fire. So, thank you.
All right.